The internet is losing its mind, and this time it's not over a fight, a tweet, or a Zeus meltdown. Nope. It's because Chrisean Rock just dropped the kind of receipts that don't just expose a man, they erase his career. HoodTrophy Bino is officially trending for all the wrong reasons. And baby, this scandal makes the Kardashians look like the Brady Bunch. You thought Chrisean was done with drama? Wrong. She came armed with screenshots, voice notes, and digital proof that could make an FBI agent blush. The kind of receipts that scream, "This wasn't love, this was a business transaction with emotions on layaway." And the way she leaked it? Smooth, calculated, petty perfection. Twitter's in shambles, TikTok detectives are dissecting timestamps, and Bino's fan base has gone silent like their Wi-Fi got unplugged. The man who branded himself real, humble, and loyal just got hit with a truth bomb that could wipe his name off every playlist in existence. So buckle up, because we're diving into the receipts that ended a career, exposed a facade, and reminded everyone why you never play games with Chrisean Rock. Welcome to Gossip Flow, where truth trends louder than lies, and the mess is always freshly served. It all started like a quiet Tuesday, until Chrisean Rock decided silence was overrated. Out of nowhere, she dropped what might go down as one of the most savage exposés in influencer history. Screenshots, voice notes, Zelle transfers, text messages that read like the script to a fake romance movie. Within minutes, the internet was in flames, and HoodTrophy Bino's name was trending, not for his music, but for allegedly paying for a relationship he swore was real. This wasn't just a breakup, it was a demolition. For months, Bino had been playing the role of supportive man, the calm to Chrisean's chaos. He painted himself as her rock while the world called her unpredictable. Fans called them couple goals. Brands started sniffing around for deals. But behind the filtered smiles and matching outfits, Chrisean claims she was living in a transactional love story. Her first post hit like a bullet. "He said I was the one, until the payments stopped." No context, no tag, just that. The internet froze. Seconds later, boom. Screenshots of DMs between her and Bino appeared. His tone, desperate, needy, and a little too money-minded. "I'll cash you out later, just don't make me look bad online," one message read. Fans zoomed in like digital detectives, cross-referencing fonts, timestamps, even the blue bubble shades. It didn't matter. The verdict was instant. The streets believed her. By the time she went live that night, over 200,000 people were watching. She wasn't screaming, she wasn't crying, she was calm. That dangerous kind of calm that says, "I've got nothing left to lose, but you do." She looked into the camera and said, "He bought love like it was on sale, but guess what? The warranty expired." Boom. Internet meltdown. Blogs caught wind immediately. Chrisean Rock exposes Bino's fake love scheme. The receipts. That could end a career. Emotional Fraud 101. How Bino played himself. It was carnage. And while the headlines were spinning, Chrisean just kept posting. She didn't even need captions anymore. Just images of wire transfers, expensive gifts, and cryptic notes that read, "For the cameras." Every post was another nail in Bino's reputation. Then came the most damning screenshot. A private message where Bino allegedly said, "Everything we do is content. You know how this business works." The internet exploded. Fans who once saw him as the realest in the game suddenly realized they'd been watching a PR stunt dressed as a love story. One user tweeted, "He wasn't her man, he was her marketing manager." Another posted, "This relationship came with receipts and a return policy." Bino's camp tried to contain the fire, but it was too late. His social media comments turned into a graveyard of clown emojis and dollar signs. Even his latest single, ironically titled Loyal Ones, got flooded with comments like, "Paid for loyalty, huh?" and "How much did that verse cost, King?" Every line he'd ever written about real love suddenly sounded like a lie told over a beat. And Chrisean? She didn't let up. She started calling him Finance Bino and laughing mid-sentence on live, saying, "You can't buy energy, baby." The confidence was unmatched. This wasn't heartbreak. This was revenge through documentation. The receipts weren't messy. They were surgical. She had dates, amounts, and screenshots that looked too specific to fake. Meanwhile, Bino disappeared. No tweets, no Instagram stories, just total radio silence. The internet smelled blood. The more he said nothing, the guiltier he looked. Fans started comparing him to other fake lovers of Hollywood, calling him the dollar store version of Kanye after Kim. The memes got savage. One viral photo showed him holding flowers photoshopped with a receipt that said, "Non-refundable love." Another had Chrisean posing like Judge Judy with the caption, "Court is in session. Love crimes only." But this scandal wasn't just personal. It was cultural. People started debating what real love even means in the age of clout. Commentators on YouTube and TikTok argued that Bino was just another influencer trying to buy validation through association. One podcaster said, he thought dating Chrisean was a flex, but it turned into a full-on audit. By midweek, even celebrities were chiming in. Blueface, never one to miss a messy moment, dropped a petty tweet. "Told y'all she keep receipts better than she keep friends." The internet collectively groaned and laughed. It was like watching your ex crash a family reunion he wasn't invited to. Other stars took sides more subtly. One R&B singer posted a shady Instagram story, "You can't Cash App chemistry." Another influencer commented under Chrisean's post, "Love without proof is a vibe. Love with proof is a lawsuit." The energy was pure chaos, and everyone was eating it up. What made this so wild wasn't just the receipts, it was the way Chrisean flipped the power dynamic. For once, she wasn't the one being exposed. She was the exposer, and she did it with the precision of a pop culture assassin. Each post was perfectly timed, perfectly worded, perfectly devastating. It wasn't a meltdown. It was a masterclass in controlled destruction. And as fans debated, bloggers speculated, and PR reps panicked, one thing became clear. This wasn't just another messy breakup. This was the death of a brand. HoodTrophy. Bino's entire persona, the loyal, down-to-earth guy who kept it real, had been vaporized by his own transactions. But here's the thing about public scandals. They always get worse before they get better. And if you thought this was bad, the leaked receipts, the exposed DMs, the digital heartbreak, you haven't seen anything yet. Because what happened next didn't just drag Bino's career, it buried it. By the time the sun came up, the internet had gone full apocalypse mode. Every gossip blog, every fan page, every TikTok commentator was in complete meltdown. Chrisean Rock had turned a quiet Tuesday into a digital bloodbath, and HoodTrophy Bino's name was trending next to career over and refund pending. It was like watching a celebrity autopsy in real time. Messy, addictive, and absolutely brutal. The screenshots were everywhere. Fans were zooming in, breaking them down frame by frame like they were decoding national secrets. One TikToker did a 20-minute analysis on the font alignment of the receipts, claiming, "Yep, that's Cash App's 2024 layout. 100% real." The drama got so deep, people started acting like accountants, explaining how each "for you" payment added up to emotional tax evasion. It wasn't love, it was a business expense with feelings. Then came the wild part. Bino's music videos started getting ratioed. Fans were flooding his comments with dollar emojis and writing things like, "Bro's heart came with an invoice," and "You paid for a vibe, not a forever." One even joked, "This man's next single better be called Receipts and Regrets." Every platform turned against him. He didn't just lose clout, he lost credibility, the most expensive currency in the influencer economy. Celebrities couldn't resist. Lil Scrappy posted, "Ain't no love if it's getting financed," followed by 3 laughing emojis. Tamar Braxton commented on a blog post, "She said what she said, period." Even Saucy Santana joined the chaos, tweeting, "If I gotta send an invoice for affection, it's a wrap." Within hours, our receipt season was trending. The memes were so savage, even Wendy Williams' fan accounts came out of retirement just to throw shade. And of course, Blueface couldn't mind his business. He tweeted, "I taught her well," with a laughing emoji, clearly trying to claim some kind of chaotic credit. The internet dragged him instantly. "You taught her how to leave clowns," one fan replied. "Stay out of women's business, sir," another added. The ratio was biblical. Blueface went silent. And for once, the internet united. Everyone agreed this wasn't his moment. Meanwhile, Chrisean kept feeding the flames. She dropped a cryptic tweet saying, "Love don't cost a thing, but apparently loyalty does." Boom, 300,000 likes in 2 hours. People started calling her the FBI of femininity, saying she brought evidence like a prosecutor at the Grammys. Fans even began remixing her quote into motivational audios. "Love don't cost a thing" was suddenly trending alongside Nicki Minaj lyrics and gym selfies. Bino tried to recover with a weak Instagram story that read, "Y'all believe anything online? Baby, the damage was done. You can't unsee receipts." His denial hit harder than a lie detector at a family reunion. Within minutes, the internet dragged him into another pit of memes. One showed him holding flowers with a QR code saying, "Scan for payment confirmation." Another had Chrisean standing over him like Thanos saying, "I am inevitable." Even mainstream outlets joined the circus. TMZ called it the pay-per-love scandal that broke the internet. Hollywood Unlocked dropped a headline that read, "Chrisean Rock's receipts hit harder than Blueface's punchlines." Every headline was worse than the last. Bino's Google search results turned into a PR graveyard, but the story took a darker and juicier twist when an anonymous source allegedly close to Chrisean came forward claiming she wasn't the only one with financial affection. Apparently, Bino had sponsored multiple women in similar ways. The source claimed he treated relationships like networking opportunities. The internet gasped. Suddenly, this wasn't just a breakup, it was a lifestyle reveal. Podcasts erupted. Everyone from the Joe Budden podcast to No Jumper jumped in. One host said, "Bino's downfall is a masterclass in how not to date a woman who saves screenshots." Another said, "He played a dangerous game and got drafted into public humiliation." The comment sections became virtual brawls. Team Chrisean versus Team Bino, truthers versus skeptics, feminists versus men's rights weirdos. Chaos was trending and nobody was safe. TikTok went insane. Edits of Chrisean smiling while Run the World Girls played flooded For You pages. People started using her face as the new "caught you slipping" meme. Every soundbite she dropped became a viral audio. Someone even animated a fake court trial between Chrisean and Bino, titled "The Case of the Paid Love Affair." It hit 500,000 views in one night. The internet was living for it, but for Bino, this was career CPR. His follower count was dropping faster than gas prices after an election. His label allegedly told him to lay low, and insiders whispered that his upcoming projects were on pause until further notice. Translation: he was finished. But even as the walls crumbled, the man still couldn't help himself. He posted one last desperate tweet: "You can't cancel real love." The irony was too perfect. Chrisean immediately replied with a single word: refunded. That reply alone became the tweet of the year. Screenshots, t-shirts, remixes, it was everywhere. She turned a breakup into branding. At this point, Bino's reputation was ashes. His Reel 1 image was dead, his music was tanking, and Chrisean had the internet wrapped around her perfectly manicured finger. What was once a love story had become a cultural shift. Proof that women no longer cry over betrayal. They monetize it. The conversation shifted again. People started calling it the age of accountability. Think pieces popped up on TikTok and YouTube with titles like "How Chrisean Rock Became the Face of Feminine Payback" and "Why Men Fear Receipts More Than Rejection." Even people who didn't like her had to admit she flipped humiliation into empire-building energy. But the wildest part? We hadn't even seen the full fallout yet. Behind the memes and chaos, something was brewing. A storm of lost deals, shattered trust, and emotional karma that was about to finish what Chrisean started. Because the receipts didn't just end Bino's relationship, they ended his future. By the time the weekend hit, HoodTrophy Bino's career wasn't just damaged, it was extinct. His name, once whispered with hype, was now shouted in memes and mockery. The man who rapped about keeping it real had officially become the internet's favorite cautionary tale. His streams plummeted overnight. Collaborations vanished faster than his dignity. And industry insiders? They were running for cover, unfollowing him like their jobs depended on it. His PR team tried to spin it, of course. They dropped a painfully sterile statement saying, "Bino values privacy during this time and appreciates continued support from his loyal fans." Loyal fans? Babe, they'd left the chat 3 days ago. The only ones left in his comments were trolls asking for relationship refunds and sending him 001 for your next heartbreak. It was savage. But Chrisean Rock? Oh, she was thriving. Like glowing up on a hater's budget thriving. Every major outlet wanted her side of the story, but she didn't give interviews, she gave moments. Subtle, sharp, and unbothered moments that broke the internet every time. She posted a boomerang in a diamond-studded hoodie with the caption, "You can't pay for peace." Fans went feral. Memes declared her the receipts queen. Even people who used to clown her were calling it the greatest celebrity comeback since Rihanna's anti-album Silence. The energy shift was cosmic. Chrisean went from being the headline to writing the headlines. She'd flipped public perception in record time, from unhinged reality star to the truth teller of our generation. The same people who once said she was too messy were now quoting her on podcasts and slapping her lines onto t-shirts. She wasn't just trending, she was transforming. Meanwhile, Bino was drowning in his own silence. Every attempt to post something backfired. When he uploaded a vague selfie captioned "still standing," the internet replied, "On what? Your last nerve?" Even his fans turned critics were creative in their destruction. One comment read, "Love ain't a receipt, but karma sure is." Another, "You went from HoodTrophy to Hood tragedy." It was a digital dragging so thorough, not even Elon Musk's rebrand could have saved him, and it didn't stop there. Sponsors began pulling back. His name disappeared from upcoming lineups. Brand partnerships quietly restructured, and PR execs started whispering phrases like image rehab and underground rebranding. But the public wasn't having it. They'd seen the receipts, literally. You can't fake authenticity when your own bank statements are trending. Meanwhile, Chrisean dropped a snippet of a new single titled "Receipts Don't Lie." The lyrics were lethal. "You can't screenshot love, but I can screenshot you." The internet erupted. Overnight, she turned heartbreak into a hustle and betrayal into a billboard opportunity. Even critics had to admit, she'd taken control of her narrative and weaponized it with the precision of a marketing genius. Think pieces exploded across YouTube and Twitter. Titles like "Chrisean Rock just redefined revenge" and "How HoodTrophy Bino bought his own downfall" dominated trending pages. It was bigger than gossip now, it was culture. Everyone was dissecting what her receipts symbolized. In a world where clout is currency, Chrisean had just proven that truth pays better. And while she soared, Bino's silence became haunting. Fans started posting candle emojis like he'd passed away. "RIP to Bino's career. Gone too soon, paid too much," one tweet read. Another viral post said, "He wanted to build an empire on fake love." Chrisean handed him the eviction notice. The internet had spoken, and the verdict was final. By week's end, Chrisean wasn't just trending, she was ascending. Every brand that had ghosted her was suddenly crawling back. Podcast hosts begged for interviews. Talk shows wanted exclusives. She didn't have to chase validation anymore. It was chasing her. The woman the industry once mocked was now the most talked about personality online. But here's the kicker. The receipts didn't just destroy Bino's image. They exposed an entire ecosystem of fake love culture. Suddenly, everyone was side-eyeing influencer couples, wondering who else was getting paid to pretend. The fallout spread beyond two people. It was a cultural cleansing, and at the center of it stood Chrisean Rock, unapologetic, unbothered, and undefeated. Her next live stream shattered records. Over 500,000 viewers tuned in, expecting chaos. But what they got was confidence. "I don't expose for clout," she said. "I expose for closure." That single line ricocheted across the internet like a mic drop. Clips of it flooded timelines, getting stitched, remixed, quoted, and praised. She wasn't just speaking, she was preaching. She was preaching. By now, Bino's followers were down by hundreds of thousands. His music streams? Flatlined. Labels whispered damage control. But there was nothing to control. The damage was done, and Chrisean owned every headline. One outlet called her the Beyoncé of breakups. Another dubbed her the IRS of love, collecting what's owed, one receipt at a time. And as the world moved on to its next drama, one thing became clear. Chrisean had achieved the ultimate revenge: peace, profit, and power. She didn't need to clap back anymore. Her success was the loudest sound in the room. Bino's career lay in ruins, while hers was reborn in flames. She didn't just end a man's career, she built a legacy on its ashes. And somewhere, in a dimly lit studio, you just know Bino's scrolling through her feed, watching her win, realizing too late that you can't buy real. You can only regret it when it's gone. And just like that, Chrisean Rock didn't just win the argument. She rewrote the rulebook. HoodTrophy Bino's career didn't end with a diss track or a scandal fade out. It ended with receipts. Cold, time-stamped, screenshot-certified receipts. The man went from next up in the game to next meme of the month. You can't stream integrity, and you sure can't auto-tune authenticity. This whole saga was more entertaining than a Zeus Network reunion. It had betrayal, drama, poetic karma, and enough shade to block the sun. Chrisean didn't cry, she collected data. And Bino, he paid the price, literally. If love was a transaction, she just cashed out while he filed for emotional bankruptcy. So before you bounce, smash that like button, like it's your ex's car window. Hit subscribe like you're blocking your toxic situationship. And drop your thoughts in the comments. Are you Team Chrisean the Collector, Team Bino the Buyer, or Team Love Without Receipts? Because over here on Gossip Flow, we don't just spill tea. We serve it with Wi-Fi receipts and petty precision. Turn those notifications on, because the next celebrity scandal could break tonight. We don't chase gossip. Gossip chases us. This is Gossip Flow, signing off, where the truth trends faster, the drama never sleeps, and the receipts never expire.